Coverage of the NFL brings us to South Florida at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins. Oh, and how about this? An onside kick to start the game. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers drops it to Jones in the flat. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Third play here this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now it's Rodgers. And all of that, nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. Well, sometimes the fake punts work out. They're fun, and you're so smart for doing it. And sometimes, Charles, what happens is an epic fail, and what we just saw was an epic fail.
And you're right about that, because the key here is the element of surprise. You have to catch a defense completely unaware that this might happen, this might occur. Unfortunately, somehow they tipped it off, or they were just well coached and on their toes.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 40 yards. And the Dolphins use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9.
Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And it's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Nixon now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. Got a man. That's Lazard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On play action, Rodgers. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Noah Igbenogany. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the turnover, it's Tua. Dancing to his left. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got him.
Now the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Cedric Wilson, 73 yards. And the Dolphins have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers now to throw. He hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And look at this, another fake, and he will not even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory, look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call. That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Here's a diving catch right side. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go now. 52 points.
Tua on fourth down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. Quite a decision there on fourth down. They didn't just want the first. They wanted 6 points. And following the interception, they're going to come away with neither.
And that's too bad.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Tua going to throw. He's got it. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami first.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Alec Ingold in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 28-0. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. This fielded right at the goal line. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Tua. Gets this one to Hill. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua rolling to his right. They'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of it.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster. So
touchdown, Dolphins! Raheem Mostert, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes this 35-0 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He'll buy some time right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
A Mostert to first down carry, and this will wind up only getting him a couple. And it'll bring up second down. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Nixon now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't.
He's got a man complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Rodgers now on first down. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. 43 yards. Rodgers going to throw.
And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his third of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Rodgers to throw once more.
A check down here to Jones.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Another shot to at least get on the board here. This is 3rd and goal.
Now Rodgers. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Bradley Chubb picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. And what is going on here? Are they serious? 1st down, and they're in punt formation.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles.
And my goodness, another interception. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.